How's it look? Yes, bandages on my face. And I don't know if I sound as weird to you as I sound to me. No air moving through my nose. Why would I do such a thing? I did it on purpose. I didn't get beat up. Not in that sense of the word. Because when you're committed to your best life, the smallest tweaks matter. Short-term pain leads to greater freedom. I'll tell you the story and show you how you could do the same in your life if you are committed to your best life and want to free yourself more and more every day. So here's the deal. For 8 years, I had this weird pressure imbalance, and I would only notice it when I did extreme sort of yogic breathing exercises. And when I did, my left side ear wouldn't like pop, but the right one would. And it wasn't bad, it wasn't problematic, but I knew something wasn't quite right, which got my craw, whatever that means. So, investigated. Finally, a few months ago, a doctor said, hey, let's get a CAT scan. It's like, okay, because dogs can't read, but cats can. Anyway, I got the CAT scan, and they said, oh, you know what, your eustachian tube is dilated, inflamed. Sorry, it's inflamed. They call it eustachian tube. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I had a procedure done on that to relax it. Like, oh, wow. And when we had the CAT scan done, the doctor told me I had a deviated septum. 55 times I've gone around the sun, and I didn't know that. Well, I probably wasn't born with it, but at a certain point, martial arts most likely, bonk, right? And however, I could breathe well. I'm a professional breath trainer. I don't snore. I breathe in and out of my nose all the time. I never get congestion. So that's why this is particularly noticeable to me right now. So they said to me, well, you could have a surgery to fix that deviation. What does a deviation mean? It curves, so there's an impingement. By the way, how fitting is it that my word for the year, as I remind myself multiple times a day, my word for this year is unimpeded. And I discovered an impingement, an impedance in my breathing apparatus, a main part of it. And so the doctor warned me twice, hey, are you sure? If it's not a problem, don't go fixing it. And I appreciate that. Surgery is not something to take lightly. Not for me, anyway. I'd never had surgery in my life. I asked the anesthesiologist like 40 questions. She was into it. And she's like, it's amazing you've never had general anesthesia in your life. Okay, cool. So, had the surgery. Not that I remember it. And afterwards, and now, it hurts. It hurts a lot. And this is almost the only sort of for other people type work I'm doing today. Because I figure, hey, it's a good visual reminder, auditory reminder, and maybe useful to you too. Right? Because here's the question. What is it that's okay but could be great? What is it that's a pebble in your shoe or a slight blockage in your breath? An attitude or a relationship where it's like, I wish I could be myself around this person. Or, I feel like they don't understand me. Whatever it is, it's fixable. There's progress either changing on the inside or changing on the outside in the relationship or the income or whatever it is. If we're willing to face the short-term pain, an uncomfortable conversation, being uncomfortable in ourselves, right? Why do I have hair right now, by the way? A lot of you have seen me for the last, 8 years. I had a shaved head. I did a men's initiatory weekend last year. And as part of that, we didn't have time to shave. So I had stubble after 2-3 days of this thing on my head. And I was like, I don't like it. And why don't I like it? Well, because I feel like I don't look good with sort of the hair coming in. I was like, well, here's something I know. What we can't be with won't let us be. If we resist something, it will persist. So one of my mantras, one of my rules, principles is if there's something that I'm uncomfortable with, I will lean into it. Because on the other side of the lean in is freedom, more freedom. Right? Why take the pebble out of the shoe? I could still walk because it's slowing me down because it's taking some of my attention each step. I was on a call a couple days ago with my wonderful assistant, Kate, and she said, oh, we're in a different time zone. She said it was morning for her. She said, I'm not going to turn my camera on. I haven't fixed myself yet. Okay, English is not her first language. So maybe that's a carryover from some old English thing. I don't hear that very often anymore. And just in case it's not obvious what she meant, and I double checked to make sure, I haven't put on makeup yet. So sad, right? That any woman would feel like she's not beautiful enough, good enough without the makeup. And I'm not saying makeup is bad or don't wear makeup. I've had too many of those conversations to ever go down that road. What I am saying, though, is even dorky looking weirdo face, I'd rather come here and be present with you and offer you something that I hope is useful. So I'll leave it then with a question to you. What is something that is uncomfortable or has some short-term pain, or you just know it's a pebble in your shoe related to your business or your relationships or parenting? What is it for you? And if you want to talk about it, cool. Or ask about it, send me a message, daniel@danielaaron.com, or in the comments. And whether you do that or not, I encourage you to take a step. Clarify one thing, because there's always something. Every day there's something, small or big. Clarify what's one and what's a step you can take from today. And with that said, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being interested in living your most vibrant, thriving life. I love you. Aloha.